What up, this is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Father-Son House of Gucci. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, and ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Let's rock this. You know, I don't remember if Ridley Scott had ever made a comedy in the past. Maybe you can refresh my memory and fill me in on that. But House of Gucci is quite possibly the closest to a dark comedy that Ridley Scott has ever given us. The campiness of this movie cracks me up. I mean, all the characters are speaking and sounding like Mario and Luigi. Buongiorno, spaghetti, pasta. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. But for reals though, even when the movie tries to be serious, it still looks insanely funny. And hey, maybe that is part of the objective, to kinda exaggerate the silliness of greed and excessive wealth and one woman's undying mission to have it all. Scripted by Becky Johnston and Roberto Bettivenia, based on Sarah Gay Forden's book, and directed by Ridley Scott, House of Gucci is inspired by the shocking true story of the family behind the Italian fashion empire. When Patrizia Reggiani, an outsider from humble beginnings, marries into the Gucci family, her unbridled ambition begins to unravel the family legacy and triggers a reckless spiral of betrayal, decadence, revenge, and ultimately murder. Starring Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Jared Leto, Jeremy Irons, Jack Huston, Salma Hayek, and Al Pacino. You know, after all the money in the world and now House of Gucci, ooh, I can't wait for what Ridley Scott will bring for us next in his trilogy of richer than God family dynasties. Putting the jokes aside, what I do appreciate about these movies is that they are not about a rise to power or an origin story. When we meet these characters, specifically House of Gucci, the empire is already established. So at the center of it is a relationship journey that goes from passionate to sour. And anybody who's ever been married to a gold digger could see themselves in the calamities of Maurizio and Patrizia. Just like all the money in the world, House of Gucci is also about how lavish it can get. So locations are everything, and they throw all the designer costumes in your face like they just don't care. An argument can be made that the film doesn't have to be 157 minutes long, but watching these characters essentially giving backhanded slaps to one another is so amusing, the time quickly passes you by. Now, the real question is, does the Italian accent distract you at all? I'd say yes, to a certain degree, it kinda does. I understand that they wanted to appear authentic, but sometimes they come off sounding like a parody. But again, as I implied earlier, if comedy is indeed part of the objective, then the over-the-top accent does help. Lady Gaga gives an interesting performance to say the least. Her portrayal of Patrizia is a mix of entitlement and overreaction. There's something sad about this character who desperately wants to be part of the family that keeps reminding her she's not, although Lady Gaga was far more superior in A Star Is Born. But for what this script requires, she is fabulously spot on. Adam Driver in the first half of this movie is like an optimistic man-child who is disillusioned by his family's legacy. But in the other half, once the conflict starts to heat up, that's when Adam's award-worthy dramatic side kicks in. The comically unrecognizable Jared Leto is the ultimate scene stealer. As the bitter, resentful Paolo Gucci, Jared is the epitome of upstaging. And so, I don't know what House of Gucci's chances are in this award season. As somebody who had no idea about the infamous Gucci murder prior to the screening, what I get out of it is, well, now I know, good to know. I think you will find the tone of this movie entertaining. I think you will have lots of laughs watching it. But if you ask me, I think Ridley Scott has done better works than this.